Hello, welcome to this video. Whether you're watching it live or on recording, feel free to comment and share and like and do the things that you do, and when I see the comments I will get to them. Hi.
Hi. Hi.
There are some transits going on, Mercury opposition Neptune, the same way I start every day, focusing on the sun. Without that, this whole planetary energetics thing doesn't really work. All of the planets in our solar system are chasing the sun. And so the actions of the sun, or the things that the sun expresses, are vital and are very important to our well being, our path, to everything that we do. The sun is releasing energy in the form of what are called CMEs, or coronal mass ejections. These are distributions of energy that the sun has been holding that escapes and projects itself out into the greater solar system. The release of something from the sun that has been held has a profound impact on us here on Earth. We are beings of this solar system. In my estimation, there is no separation between us and the rest of the things that are happening around us. The sun has been releasing an unusually high amount of energy. Basically, our solar galactic neighborhood has been bombarded. But this radiation, the sun radiates in the form of plasma, is released. There is an initial feeling for many people who are more sensitive to energy. And just trust me, some people are more sensitive than others. It's not better or worse. And in some cases, it actually sucks to be that sensitive. But those who are more sensitive, and you know these people because they can't smell something without sneezing, they enter a room and are like, this is too much. When the coronal mass ejections occur, there is an immediate hit of a particle, but there is a form of communication that is almost instantaneous. If it reaches us, and it doesn't have a real physical impact, it's felt on a subtle level. Those who are more sensitive generally feel it as these things are emerging. The larger population starts to feel it within 48 to 72 hours, as the actual plasma has to travel across the solar system from the sun and reach our planet. There is an even more profound effect on people. What's actually happening? The plasma is it's a very strong electromagnetic. When these waves hit, the magnetic power of the Earth, as we spin, we generate. As something spins, it generates energy outward. People call it a torsion field. It's an electromagnetic field that is projected out from the inner movement. Now, the power of the sun's electromagnetic energy coming at us is so big and so profound that our little bodies and our little Earth body, no matter how fast it's spinning and how much it's generating, it collapses under the weight of this other electromagnetic force. Like blow up a ball or a balloon, and then something presses on it really intensely that's stronger than your lungs. It's going to collapse. The electromagnetic field is protective, regenerative, projective, in that whatever is the nature of the filaments of the field is what reality is. So our core concept of reality, as we're all working together on, is collapsing every time that these strong solar flares hit the Earth. It feels like the things that are within us, that are ideas, that are dreams, that are wishes, that are based on the ego. And the ego is important. It is vital in living on this planet, living in community, having relationships, living in society. But it doesn't have a firm foundation, because it could change at any moment. You feel very, very confident. Let's say you're up on stage and you're singing and things are going well, but then like the mic cuts out, someone laughs at you, and all of a sudden you could go from complete star to like sort of worthless, like needs to hide in shame. That's the ego. So the ego isn't built on anything too strong because it can change all the time. Electromagnetic energy hits us, the ego is just done. It has no chance. The core values upon which we live, like respect for one another, love, and understanding for the environment. Just treating things with respect, having gratitude. These are foundational energies that support our existence, that support our ability to live and thrive and experience life, and for others to experience life. The solar flares come and they knock down pretty much everything. What pops back up immediately is not going to be, oh yeah, I'm a hot Instagram star again. It's going to be like, oh yeah, I exist. I exist. I exist. Like, what are the core foundational things that are going to generate, regardless of what we think, that come back the moment they're knocked out? You could take a bucket and take a bunch of water out of the ocean, try to throw it in another direction. The ocean is still there. But if you find a little piece of like floating garbage and you take it out and you put it in its proper place and dispose of it, then the water will flow, but the garbage will be gone. Kind of a crude word to use when talking about our identity, but I will admit that some of what I generate out and think of myself and allow to be impressed upon myself at times is garbage. Meaning, it does not belong here, because my body not a trash can.
A body not a trash can.
It belongs somewhere else, maybe back in the cosmic recycling bin, which is, the center of the galaxy, black holes, whatever, a volcano. I don't know, but it's not for me. Subsequent solar flares, okay, that have been happening in this phase where it was 4 years where it was really intense, around 2012 to 2016, and then there was a break for about 3 years, and now it's coming back again. And we're getting to the point now where there's only been one day this entire year, and we're more than halfway through the year. There's been one day this entire year where an active sunspot has not been observed. Sunspot is an indicator of a solar storm, and that is where these energies are released from. When the energies on the sun become concentrated in one area, regenerative magnetic filaments that exist in the electromagnetic field of the sun, they end up touching. And when that happens, we get an ejection from the sun. The accelerated solar activity interfering with the manifestation of creative potential here on Earth. It's harder to build, it's harder to create. But if what you're building is of solid fabric, foundation to the nature of existence, if it's aligned with authenticity, with truth, you can build it. It will take a lot of work. It's a lot easier than doing is being fake, because falsehood requires constant work and projection, and truth simply requires consistency, self-awareness, and dedication. So those who are consistent, who are self-aware, who are dedicated, it's not black or white. Anyone can do this. Anyone can do it at any moment. No one is being held back from being aware of themselves. When we're doing that, things will work out. Because human beings are stubborn. I know.
Because I am one of them. Because I am one of them.
We're very stubborn. We're rounding out about a decade of this kind of stuff now. And every time there's a hit, and okay, maybe it's not that important that I get external validation. Maybe it's more important that I go internal. And you notice more and more mindful, bringing ideas like meditation or personal work or journaling or therapy or, dealing with our sexual energy in a responsible fashion, that sort of thing. Because that's very powerful energy in your body. Okay. Dealing with that in a responsible way, it's going to make for a better world. You can still choose to do what you want, but own it, okay? Let's clear this shame out. The sun is helping humanity evolve, because now, whatever you put out into the ether after all these clearings, it's going to be more impactful. If you start painting on a canvas that's already covered in 1,000 layers of paint, you could spill, $100 worth of expensive paints and no one can tell the difference. But when we're starting with a new canvas, the tiniest bit, sprinkle a little bit of glitter.
Sprinkle a little bit of glitter.
And it makes a difference. And if more and more people are stepping up and are doing that sort of thing, then the whole vibe changes. And that's what we're experiencing now. And so systems that were built to support us, governmental control, the policing in America, the rules, the laws, all that stuff that was put into place to support life here in this country is being broken down in the parts where it's inauthentic, where it's too hard to hold it up. If there's racist roots to things, if there's homophobic roots to things, because these are all separation. This is kind of hatred of self projecting outward towards other. And so those parts are toxic, but also very weak, like an aqueduct that was built of a porous material. And over 1,000 years, the water and the minerals just eat away at it. So, however deep the roots of these hate filled energies and separation, projective, lack of responsibility energies are, the solar flares are assisting in breaking those down, because you cannot rebuild hatred. You cannot rebuild that which is not aligned with the universe back into something once it has been detoxed from it. You may be able to separate and go build something new, but the existing systems are being cleansed by this process. And as anyone who's gone through any sort of cleansing, rejuvenation, or detoxification understands, that's the hardest part of the entire process. It's not hard being blind. It's not hard being an addict. Like, life is hard, but the act of doing the drug over and over again isn't hard. It's the easiest thing you can do. You just continue taking it in. You're completely unaware of what's happening. And once you're sober and your life is moving on and you're occupied with new things, that part isn't as hard either. But when you're letting go, when you're detoxifying from this shit, it has to come out through your pores. It comes out through your skin. And you can assist with things like enemas and going to a sauna and meditating and praying for forgiveness. But you still have to do that work. And our system, if we consider it a body, it's blood.
Oh, that's a weird one. Oop.
Where did the blood come from? Who built it? What was the motivation? It's in the bones of our systems corporately here on Earth, but more locally in America, it's built on the backs of genocide and slavery. And hey, there's a lot of countries built on that, but we're a very young country going through a Pluto return. At the moment, the sun is waking up in a way so that to assist us. So the bones of our country, in a lot of ways, which is like the written contracts, the more Saturn energies, that which was written, it may be poisonous. And we have to get some of that out, but hopefully not lose the whole thing. And I don't believe that we will. But this is not an enjoyable experience. And when in these situations, back to basics. Back to basics. So that's my story of the solar flares in America. And hopefully it gives you some understanding of what these do on a larger scale. What I do believe the cosmic plan, and I'm not saying there is a thinking, anthropomorphized consciousness behind this plan. I just know that everything has a vibration, and truth and authenticity has a very specific vibration. And you cannot simultaneously be lying and telling the truth. If there is the smallest bit of lie, it is no longer the truth. The truth does not exist within the lie. So during this time, we're being aligned with authenticity as living, breathing beings, and we have been raised since our birth in systems that are not. And so within us also there is the lack of truth, the denial of self, the restriction of cosmic divine energy from the heart, from love. And this must change because the earth is changing with the sun, with its father, mother, spirit, whatever you call it, the life giver. And as the earth changes, we too must change. There is no choice. There is no option, because all things that we have are from the earth. My clothing, the crystal I'm wearing, the opal, the skin and flesh, the blood that is in my body is all from the earth. It never is taken from the earth, it is borrowed. The resonance of this Moki marble found in southern Utah, when I pass it along to someone else, and it looks like a tiny turd, when I pass it along to someone else, it does not separate from the earth, just as it does not as it's sitting in my hand. The earth is still fully connected to it. It is part of the earth. We are just carrying it around, much like the wind or the water. And so our bodies, in the same fashion, our little meat suit, this is a container and a vessel for the conscious experience of the soul, emblazoned by spirit in the physical form. This physical form is just earth animated. You ever try to get off the earth? You can go up in a plane, right? You can hold on to a balloon, but you're going to come right back down. This is your body. It's not, doesn't belong to you, is being lended to you. So when the earth goes through a change, your body goes with it. And if with the power of your mind and the power of your soul and spirit, resist the changes, resist the inertia, your body will say, I'm being separated from my divine blueprint, mother, father, source, life giver. I am sick. I am diseased. Because the body's trying to go with the earth. It's trying to upgrade. It wants to up level. It wants to let go of the densities and embrace the new frequencies. They're just new frequencies, not better or worse. But when the time comes and the bus arrives, if you don't want the seat on the bus, guess what? You're going to fucking walk. But the buses, just get on. Even if you have to clamor on the top, go with the earth. It is going in a direction, and it speaks through the people who are listening. Who is listening? Are you listening? I don't know. That's up to you. But you can tell when someone is and when someone is not. And if someone is speaking about profits, like money, profits, and they're speaking about business, and they're speaking about technology, but they're not talking about the earth, they're not listening. They are running, and they will be diseased. Their bodies will decay. Their minds will go crazy. They will have to form and format realities where technology assists them in feeling at peace, because there is no peace in not listening to the earth. This does not exist and will never exist on this planet. The only reason you're here is because the earth is here. And if you take that body and you use it with the tools that you've stolen to not listen to the earth, to go against the earth, you are so fucked. So fucked. Aha. Did not see things going in that direction. But I thank you for watching this. And if this will be uploaded to YouTube, so if you're watching, peace. Sorry you're not live because I can't interact with the comments, but if you do comment, I will come back and I will talk to you about it. Solar flares. I do not believe solar activity can be separated from the understanding of astrology and astrological phenomenon. You cannot take two-dimensional or conceptual energies and just make that astrology. That's not astrology. You have to look at what's happening. You have to look at the sky. You have to understand the earth, which is one of the heavenly bodies, and then talk about that.